Hey guys, I hope all of you guys are doing well. Welcome to Shave in Solitude. My name is Siraj. So today we are going to be talking about timeless razors. I've had this very funny love-hate relationship with timeless razors. This is the very first razor that I bought from them. This is their slant razor, and when I bought it, I didn't like it. Um, I thought it didn't cut very well. I did not know what all the fuss was all about. But as I spent more time with the razor and I learned how to use it, it quickly became one of my favorite slant razors. If you guys have had a chance to check out my detailed review of this particular slant razor, I will leave a link. Please do check it out. I think it's a phenomenal razor. Now, in the similar way, I see a lot of shave of the day photographs. I see people talking about the regular timeless DE razors as well. And I never picked one up. I didn't have the funds to, but I definitely wanted to go ahead and try it out. So the next best thing that I did is I reached out to a few friends, and Justin from Just Shaves. Don't know whether you guys have checked out his channel in the past. Please do. Phenomenal channel. So Justin was very kind to go ahead and lend me his titanium timeless razor with a couple of different blade options. Now, I test drove that for around a week. And again, in the similar way, like I not like the slant, I didn't like this one as well. And I really couldn't figure out what all the fuss was about. So I recorded a video saying exactly that. I don't know what the fuss is all about. But then I thought, hey, you know what? Let me reach out to a few more people because they've been here doing these razors for a while and people seem to like it. Is it a me problem or is it something that in reality, people just talk about the razor but they don't really like it? So I reached out to a couple of more friends, one of them being Nick Lopez. I'm sure you guys would have seen his channel. If you haven't, I will link to his channel as well. And Nick was over the moon with this particular razor. Oh, Siraj, it's phenomenal, it's great. I was like, what am I missing? So then I reached out to Timeless directly because I wanted a loaner where I don't feel like, and again, none of my friends have ever asked me to send back their stuff ASAP. But I always feel if I borrow something from somebody, I need to quickly send it back. So I reached out to Timeless and I requested, hey, I have a small channel. Do you think you can loan me a razor for me to go ahead and test drive? I fully thought they'll say, sorry, we don't do that. Your channel is too small. But guess what? They responded right away and they said, sure, we'll be happy to go ahead and send it to you as a loaner. So that is what they did. So they went ahead and they sent me a stainless steel version because that's the one that I requested for. Open comb is the one that I have on this one. They also went ahead and sent me a closed comb. Now this closed comb is unique. Timeless is one of the very few people who give you this choice when you're buying a razor from them. This open comb, if you notice on this side, this closed comb, if you notice on this side, has a solid bar, and the closed comb on this side has a scallop bar. So I've been test driving these razors over the last 3 weeks. And has it changed my point of view on how I think these razors are? Why don't you stick around to find out? Now, before we get into the shave, let me take you guys through the razor specifications, and I'm going to spend a little bit more time telling you about Timeless overall, what are the different razors they have, the different blade gaps they have, so that you have an overall view in case you are in the market for this razor. So when you start shopping at Timeless Razors, one of the first things that you will notice if you go to their website is that they make razors in a lot of different materials. So it can get a little confusing because you need to click on every material's web page, and then you need to see what are the different choices that they have in it because not all of them are the same. So what I thought might help people is to give one single shot view of showing all the materials that you can buy a Timeless razor on, which is right here on the top. And then the second thing is Below that, I've gone ahead and I've given what are the different blade exposures and blade gaps that you can get in it. The other way to go ahead and shop is to see what kind of a shave are you looking for. You're looking for something mild or something a little bit more than just mild. So, for example, for me, I like stainless steel. That is the metal that I prefer. So I will take a look at this sheet, say, okay, this is stainless steel. I don't want a mild, I want a medium aggressive. So that being the case, these will not work for me. In medium, what do I have? I have a solid bar and I also have a open comb. So depending upon whichever one that I prefer, for me, I prefer solid bars. So I know, okay, so this is what I need to look at. So then what am I going to get over here? I'm going to get a blade gap of 0.95 millimeters and a blade exposure of positive 0.05. In the similar way, given that Timeless's biggest sellers, I think, are in stainless steel and titanium, there are a few other things that I can get. If I want, I can get a scalloped cap rather than just a plain cap. Mind you, this really doesn't change anything in the shave. It just looks fancier. Then, when it comes to the solid bar, I can get it in a simple solid bar, or I can get it as a scalloped version as well. The scalloped version is supposed to give a slightly smoother shave, although for me personally, I prefer the simple solid bar. Then I can also have options of a dual comb. For example, the razor that Timeless sent to me, the solid bar, one side is a simple plain solid bar, the other side is a scalloped one. The other thing that you could also get in dual comb is open comb and closed comb on either side, which I think is phenomenal because there are some people I know that they really like that particular option. So you can get that particular option of a dual comb, but obviously, apart from the base price of $215, you will pay $60 more for that particular choice. Then, Timeless also gives you an option for polishing. And their polishing, guys, I must tell you, is phenomenal. It's top-notch, really good. Just keep in mind, on their website also, they make it very clear that if you opt for the polished version, it is slightly more prone to nicks and scratches. So if you are going in for that, just keep that in mind. And then obviously the last one is if you want to go ahead and get a stand, you can get a stand with the razor as well. You just need to be careful because they have a few handles which are a little thicker than the rest, and so the stand costs will differ based on which one you choose, and also you have to choose the stand which can fit that particular thickness of the handle. So now that we have gone through these razor specifications, let's get back to the shave. So guys, we're back. I'm hoping that those razor specifications helped you. So let's get started with the shave today. I'm working with 2 days of growth. The software that we're going to use for the soap today is Dark Irish Countryside from the Cajun Blade. I have the matching splash to go with it as well. And we are going to do a 3-pass shave. Open comb is what we're going to go ahead and start with. I'm going to use a second use Persona Platinum blade. And after the first pass, the second pass we will do with the scalloped closed comb. And then the last finishing pass we'll do with the closed one. So before we get started, I think one thing I should go ahead and point out, this open comb, the design, I really like it because if you notice, there is not a single sharp edge. There are some open combs where when you're shaving, you can feel each of these ridges. Now, the way Timeless has gone ahead and done it is they have folded the thing inside. So the open comb part of it is still there, but it definitely helps in not feeling pokey on your face. So I'm going to load the blade up. It's a simple 3-part loading system. So here is your handle, and this is the bottom cap. This is the top cap. By the way, they sent me this scalloped top cap. This is just visual. There is no change to your shave characteristics if you decide to go in with a scalloped top cap. So here I have my once used Persona Platinum blade. I am just dropping the blade onto the top cap like this, and like I've shown you guys, it's best to just hold the ends so that you know that you've gone ahead and you put it in place properly. Now we're just going to drop the bottom cap like this. Then I squeeze it from the center, and I'm again holding it from the sides. There is a washer which comes with these razors. They say you don't need to keep it, you can throw it away. It's mainly for transportation when the razor has been sent to you. But given that it's a loaner and I need to send it back, I want to make sure that I'm not putting any scratches on the razor. So then we just screw the handle back on. The blade stabs do stick out very, very little, if you guys can notice, but it's very slight. It's not severe. All right, so I'm going to get lathered up, and let's start the shave. All right, guys, we are ready to go. The lather is ready. It's got nice peaks. As you guys can see, I'm just going to smooth this out on the face. And we are ready to begin the shave. So I've got so much here in the brush, and plus look at how much I have in the bowl. So that's all you need, guys. You need only maybe half a teaspoon of soap, and I use approximately 20 milliliters of water. So obviously you will keep on mixing it, add a little bit more water, mix it, add a little bit. So just do it gradually, and make sure that your lather is dense. It's not airy, because airy will give you a lot of volume. It will look, oh, you've got lots of lather, but then that denseness is not there, which is required for glide, cushion, residual slickness. It won't be there. All right, I'm going to wash up my hands and let's get started with the shave. All right, I've wet the razor. We are using the open comb with the 0.95 millimeter blade cap and a blade exposure of 0.05 positive. All right, let's begin. So these razors are quite nice and heavy. So following the whole thing of let the weight of the razor do the work, all you need to do is minimal pressure, put it on your face, line up the sideburns, and then just let it slide slowly. So take a couple of really small strokes, make sure that you've got the angle right, it's able to cut the hair, and then begin. Residual slickness on the Kaden Blade soaps is good, pretty good. Minimal pressure, guys. I'm just letting the razor fall on my face and just guiding it down. Although the head looks quite large, you can still easily get under the nose. All right, so I'm going to wash up and relather, and then I'm going to change out this particular cap to the close comb as well. So as you guys can see, before I relather, bulk of the hair is gone, the 2 days growth that we had. Now just a couple of more passes required to just, make it a BBS shave. All right, we are back. Now we have changed out the cap. As you guys can see, this side is the solid close comb. This side is the scalloped one. So for pass number 2, I'm going to stick with the scalloped side. We'll go east to west, finish that, and for the last pass for the BBS, we will use this particular side. So let's get started. I've wet the razor, applied the shaving cream, and let's begin. So this close comb is also similar blade gap of 0.95 millimeters and blade exposure positive 0.05 millimeters. Now let's do the neck. All right, I'm going to wash up, reapply the lather, and let's do pass number 3. So here we are before applying the lather. Pretty much we're done. But obviously we want to chase the BBS, so we need to do that third pass. All right, be back with you guys in just a moment. So we're back. Now we are going to be using the solid bar close comb on this side, not the scalloped one. All right, let's begin. Third pass for the BBS against the grain. There is zero blade chatter, guys. Even though it has a sizable blade gap, blade chatter is just not there. Now, mustache. And now the chin. All right, I'm going to wash up and then probably do a quick touch-up pass in these areas which I always require off camera, and then let's come back and see how does the alum bite. Okay, we are back. Let's take a look at how does the alum feel. No feedback there, a little bit of feedback here. Slight bit of feedback here. No feedback here. Very little bit of feedback here. Yeah, very little overall. So I'm going to keep this on for the next 30 seconds, guys, and then wash it off. So guys, we're back and had a great shave, as you guys saw. So let's do this first. Let's go ahead and take you through, guys, my subjective rating for this razor, and then let's circle back here for my final thoughts. So before we get into the subjective rating, I think we need to talk about costs, right? Because this is not a very cheap razor. But I think what we also need to see is how does the cost compare to other similar companies making similar razors here in the US? And that is what I've tried to do on this particular sheet. So for example, if you look at the timeless stainless steel with a starting base price of $215. Now, if you were to get the similar razor from Blackland, which is the Blackbird, $200 is what you'll end up spending. If you want to get a Rex, you will get $150 at a minimum. That's for the shorter handle. And in case if you want the larger handle, I think the price is $200 as well. Obviously, there are a couple of more choices that you have for companies making razors here in the US, which are these two. They are significantly cheaper. So in case if money is the main driving factor, both of these razors are really good. You could just go with this directly. However, if you're looking at top tier, is what I like to call it, Timeless, Blackland, and Rex, if you actually total up everything, you put in the polishing cost, let's say, and this is for something that I would get a normal $215 base price, then I will add the polishing cost, I'll add the stand cost. So it comes to $325 for Timeless, $315 for Blackland, and $285 for Rex. Obviously, if I buy the Rex with the longer handle, the price goes up. So if you look, the prices are pretty much on par. In the similar way, if you look at titanium as a choice, which is the second table, you'll notice that actually from a titanium point of view, Timeless's prices are phenomenally good. So their Timeless titanium, their base starts at $275 versus Blackland at $340 and Oliworks at $340 as well. Once you add in the polishing cost and the stand cost, polishing cost in this particular razor is already a part of that particular price. But once you add the stand cost as well, you will notice that their offerings are actually pretty much in line with the rest of the market, offering titanium razors built here in the US. So now with the cost out of the way, which basically I was just trying to say that their costs are pretty much on par with other companies making similarly high quality razors here locally in the US. So let's see how is it that I actually rate this razor. So as you guys know, I am looking at value, fit and finish, balance, so on and so forth. If I give a good rating in each one of them, the minimum number of points I'm looking for is 75 for me to say that I like the razor. So how does the Timeless do? Well, in terms of cost, okay is what I've given because like I showed you guys, it's pretty much on par with the rest of the companies here in the US. Fit and finish, I think, was phenomenal. It was finished very well. The overall feel of the razor, everything was really, really, really good. In terms of the balance, I used stainless steel. They used 304 stainless steel. I would have liked it to be 316, but that's okay. I think it's a little heavy. But at the same point of time, I think it's made quite well. Balance and all that is pretty good. In terms of efficiency, I think it's phenomenal. I can get a really good BBS shave in around 3 passes, and I pretty much remain BBS for the rest of the entire day. It's only the next day when I get up in the morning is when I have some stubble, and that also not too much. So I think it does a great job. Aggressiveness, the plate that I was using, which was the blade gap of 0.95 with a blade exposure of 0.05 positive. You need to be slightly careful, slightly, not too much, but it gives a great shave. That's why I've given it a rating of good. So for a final score of 81.25. All right, so now let's get back to my final thoughts. So guys, we're back for my final thoughts. So what do I think about the timeless stainless steel de-erasers? I don't know whether you guys got a chance to see my Rex console video. I had used a particular term there. I said it's very, very, very tactical, very machine-like it has no soul. It does the job phenomenally well, but it feels too much like a tool. The timeless razor does something entirely different. This is one of the razors that I felt has a soul. You feel like spending time with it, shaving with it. It's a feeling, guys. I can't go ahead and put a score on it, but I just thought I should share with you guys. At least this is what I feel regarding the stainless steel version. I did not have the similar feeling with the titanium one. So I think, two things which really stand out for me. Number one, the razor is extremely well built. Number two, it gives a very good feeling. Like I said, you can connect with the razor when you're actually going ahead and shaving with it. Couple of things that I think timeless, in case they can work on. Number one is see if they can move from 304 stainless steel to 316. I know that the tooling costs are slightly higher. Number two is they can maintain the prices that they currently have. Like you guys saw, it's on par with other well-known brands made here in the US. But what would definitely help is at least a few times in the year, in case they can give a slightly bigger discount on their sales. That would definitely help people pick up some of these razors and probably even try more plates, finishes that they would probably not have thought of trying. So do I recommend the razor? Absolutely. I think it's a great razor. For people who are starting off, beginners, given the cost of the razor, I would say hold off, learn the technique, learn how to shave properly with applying the right kind of pressure. And by that time, if you've spent around a year or two honing your skills, you will figure out whether you prefer a blade gap close to 0.7 or close to 0.95. What's the kind of blade exposure that you like? And once you know that, then jump in and pick up a razor from Timeless. For me, I will be picking up a Timeless maybe later on in the future, not right now. And when I do, I think for me it would be stainless steel, polished, but with a dual comb, open comb on one side and the solid bar closed comb on the second side with a blade gap of 0.95 and a positive blade exposure of 0.05 millimeters. And before we wrap up, Timeless razors, thank you so much for the loaner. I'll clean it up and send it your way. So that's about it, guys. I hope that the video helped. It's a good razor. It's not cheap. So yes, one needs to save up in order to buy it. But once you have it in your hands, I think this might very well be in your top 5, top 10 razors that you will keep for life. I hope all of you guys have a wonderful week ahead, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.